You know, all around us, in every single forest, every park, every blade of grass, there's this silent, powerful engine running. It's a process that creates the food we eat, and literally the air we breathe. Today, we're going to go on a journey, right inside a single leaf, to discover the incredible process that makes all life on Earth possible. We're talking about photosynthesis.
So let's start with a huge question. What makes life on our planet even possible? I mean, sure, the sun gives us warmth and water is essential, but the real magic, the secret sauce, is how plants take those simple things and turn them into the energy that fuels our entire world.
So let's dive right into this green engine. I want you to think of every plant out there, from a massive redwood tree to a tiny little weed, as a perfect, solar-powered factory. These green engines are working tirelessly, day in and day out, and they are the foundation for just about all life on our planet.
To put it simply, photosynthesis is just how plants make their own food. They pull off this amazing chemical reaction that takes light energy from the sun and turns it into chemical energy, basically sugar, that they can use to grow. And here's the kicker, the vital bonus for us: this whole process releases the oxygen we need to breathe.
The best way to understand this process is to think of it like a recipe. But this isn't just any recipe. It's the ultimate recipe for life itself. And, just like any good recipe, it needs a few key ingredients to work. But before we get to the ingredients, we have to meet the master chef of this whole operation, a molecule called chlorophyll. Now, this is the pigment that gives plants their green color. But that's not its most important job. Its real job is to act like a tiny solar panel, capturing the sun's energy to kickstart the entire reaction. It's the real hero of the story.
Okay, so here are our 4 essential ingredients for the recipe. Number 1, you've got sunlight. That's the power source. Number 2 is water, which the plant soaks up through its roots. Third, there's carbon dioxide, a gas the plant just pulls in from the air around it. And finally, our star player, chlorophyll, is there to catch that sunlight and get the whole party started. Now, scientists use diagrams like this one to kind of show how all these pieces work together at the same time. You can see the inputs, sunlight, water, and CO2, going in, and then you see the outputs, the sugary food the plant makes for itself, and of course the oxygen it releases for the rest of us. It's really a perfect, self-sustaining system. All right, so the plant has made its food. What's next? What does it actually do with it? Well, just like us, it needs some energy right away, but it also has to be smart and store some for later. It's actually got a really clever 2-part strategy for managing its energy. First up, the plant makes glucose, which is a simple sugar. You can think of this like an energy drink. It's immediate fuel for jobs like growing new leaves or repairing damage. But when the plant has extra glucose, it cleverly converts it into something called starch. Starch is like a power bar. It's a compact, stable way to store that energy for later, for times like nighttime or through the winter. And where does the plant keep these starchy power bars? Well, pretty much everywhere. In fact, so many of the vegetables we eat are really just these stored energy reserves. The carrot you munch on? That's a root packed with starch. A potato is a starchy tuber. And things like corn and beans, they're seeds just loaded with energy for a brand new plant to get its start.
Okay, so let's zoom out now. Let's go from the single plant and look at the absolutely breathtaking impact this one process has on our entire planet. This simple act of a plant making its food creates a rhythm, a kind of global breathing cycle that keeps all of us alive.
It's pretty incredible to think that for the plant, oxygen is just a waste product. It's just something left over from the recipe. But for us, and for almost all animal life, this waste is the most important gas in our atmosphere. It's a perfect example of how one organism's trash is truly another's treasure.
We all know this part of the cycle, right? Animals and humans, we breathe in oxygen to power our bodies, and then we breathe out carbon dioxide as a waste product. This process is called respiration, and it's happening all the time, day and night. But this is where the story gets really interesting.
That's right, plants breathe too. Just like us, plants are also performing respiration. They take in oxygen around the clock, day and night, to break down their stored food and get the energy they need to grow. And that means they also release some carbon dioxide, just like we do.
This creates this beautiful, balanced cycle. But here's the key. During the day, plants take in way more carbon dioxide for photosynthesis than they release through respiration. The end result is a massive net production of oxygen for us to breathe. We breathe it in, and then we exhale the carbon dioxide that they need. It's like the perfect planetary partnership.
So, we've talked a lot about plants storing energy as starch, But how can we actually prove it's there? How do we see it? Well, science gives us a really simple tool to become starch detectives and find the evidence for ourselves.
Our special detective tool is a chemical called iodine solution. Now, on its own, it's just this brownish-yellow liquid. But iodine has a really cool, unique property. It changes color in a big way when it touches starch.
And here is the clue we're looking for. When you put a drop of iodine on something that has no starch in it, it just stays brown. No big deal. But when you drop it onto something starchy, like a slice of potato, you get this immediate chemical reaction, and it turns a deep blue-black color. That color change is the smoking gun. It's your proof that stored energy is right there. So, we've explored the chemistry, we've seen the global impact, and we even know how to find the proof for ourselves. Let's zoom out one last time to really appreciate how this single process forms the very foundation of life as we know it.
This really brings us to a huge idea in biology. Plants are what we call producers. They are pretty much the only organisms that can produce their own food just by using the sun's energy. Every other creature, from a tiny insect to a giant whale, is a consumer. They get their energy by eating other living things. But if you trace any food chain, any of them, all the way back to its source, it always begins with a plant. And in the end, that's the profound power of photosynthesis. Every single meal we eat, every breath we take, it's all possible because of this silent, microscopic process happening right now in a simple green leaf. It truly is the engine that drives our entire world. Makes you wonder, what other invisible forces are out there shaping our lives every single day?